But you guys are usually so good at home. You know, in a stretch like this, is it almost maybe a good thing that you guys are heading off on the road?
Well, hopefully that's the case. We've been awful here this past week, and you get these funks. They're not fun. And unfortunately, you do go through them. And how we press on through these tough times will determine our season. And, we're in a rut right now. We're not swinging the bats. Our pitching is not quite as sharp. And go through them. And we got to regroup here, and hopefully that's what's going to happen here on the road as we take off to Colorado. No question. We got to pick up the energy, everything. And, it was tough today. We got down early and just couldn't get much going on with the bats. And really, what hurt was, first 5 runs. There's 2 outs, nobody on them. Back we had 2 outs, 2 strikes, and pitched ourselves in the jam there, and they flared in a base hit. And you saw what happened there. That's a tough way to get started.
As you mentioned, it seemed like there wasn't a lot of energy. Is that just because what you're saying is the way it started, the way they?
Well, and I've said it so many times, when you don't hit, it creates some opportunities out there. You always look flat, and we do, because we're not swinging the bats well. We had 3 hits yesterday, I think 4 today. Your team always looks dead, and it takes some energy. From somebody doing something, getting on base, or a big hit. And, we've been really missing that here for about a week. And so it's got to pick up. We know it. And, so hopefully we hit the road here, we'll regroup and get it going again.
You talked about that play in the first inning with the ball that went off Cabrera's glove. Sedani was credited with a double. Could have been an error on Melky.
I don't know which one we say, really. Sometimes you see that when you walk guys, and it seems like there's going to be a mistake there on defense. Melky's been so good, and this left field's tough with the sun and everything, and he just didn't come up with it.
You talked before the game about the importance of keeping Buster fresh, for example. Is there any sense that maybe guys are just tired?
Well, you always look at, again, when you play the way we've been playing lately. It always has that look, but I don't think so. A couple guys have been out there every day, and 2 or 3 guys, but some guys have been getting their rest. And, you talk about this time of year too, the dog days, but with where we're at, and we're fortunate we're in first place. We're going to start carrying ourselves like it, and pick it up here. And it's going to take a couple hits in a row to get this thing going.
Bruce, a lot of guys are scuffling, but I think Terrio's like 3 for the last 28 or something like that. I mean, do you sense that he's getting down?
I know. He hits the balls hard. You look at some of his at-bats, he's squared up on some of these balls they're catching. And, he's frustrated by that, but now watching the swings, I think he's made some pretty good contact there. As we get on the road, I know some guys are going to need some rest. So we'll pick our spots there.
The other side of that, Bruce, it seems obviously he's clearly struggling. It seems like Pavel's having a hard time just giving it a good at-bat. He's lost at times. What are you seeing in his at-bats?
Well, I agree. I think in particular from the left side, he's battling himself. He's probably his own worst enemy sometimes. He really fights it, and we got to get him to relax and have some fun here. He's gone through this, and when he comes out, it's usually real good. But he's a little off on his timing from the left side. And, he opened a couple games off there would get him to relax a little bit. I got caught there. I really wanted him to get another bat or 2, but I was in a double switch situation. So, the team, you're hoping when we get it on the road, he'll relax and get it going a little bit.
Do you plan to keep Barry Zito paired with Hector Sanchez moving forward?
Not necessarily. It really depends on where we're at, day game after night game. If I think think Buster needs a break. I think he and Buster worked well together too, and Buster definitely needed a day, and so it turned out it's probably a good day to get him off. That's a long day out there for the guys. So, we'll catch Buster as much as we can, but if he needs a rest, it could be Zito, Timmy, whoever.
You guys obviously have quite a few road games the rest of this month, like 3-4 weeks, 19 and 29. How much does that sort of complicate the challenge? Or, I mean, obviously, you usually play very well at home.
Yeah, I mean, we have played very well here, and we're coming off a good road trip. And, you know, for some reason, it does seem like we swing the bats a little better on the road. That's part of the schedule, and so we got to be ready to go. We have 2 tough teams, Colorado, St. Louis, and it's going to be important that we get back on track here with the pitching. Bullpen's been used a lot. We had some guys out there pitching on fumes, and thought they did a pretty good job. But it's going to take a great pitching effort, or us breaking out with this offense to get us on track.
How much can just being in Colorado in that ballpark help when an offense is struggling like this?
It can help, sure. It's a hitter's ballpark. And, anytime I think you're in a park like that, it can get a guy's confidence going. But we'll be seeing some left-handers, and so that's going to be a challenge for us.
Bruce, other than Posey, when you look out on the team, it's a relatively new team to go through August and September. We really haven't seen these people perform there. And now they're struggling a little bit. What do you see that's positive that leads you to believe that, okay, this group will pull it together for August and September, at least offensively?
Well, I guess if I look at some of the positive areas, we've been through some tough times, and they have bounced back. Earlier in the season, we've had our funks, our ruts, and these guys have found a way to get through it. So even though it's a new group, a lot of these guys have been around, and they're experienced, and I really believe that once we get clicking here, we'll get back on track and start having some fun again. It's not a lot of fun when you go out for a week and struggle the way we have. This game can humble you at times, and it did here in this homestand. But you got to look at where we're at, and this is where you want to be at this time of year, and you could be somewhere where you're not in it. So this guy's got to look at now that we're in August. You get 2 months of baseball. It's not that much, considering that you've been going hard since spring training. 4 or 5 months, and so